So we are talking about storage. First thing we have to do is to create storage accounts. Let's just come and search storage accounts. Then want to create storage accounts. You can also come here too. That ways. We are here now. Resource group that I want to choose. I picked Osia. Now storage account name. Let's name it Osia King. Region. Well, let's just go with East US. Now let's just go with standard for now. Now here we have local redundant storage, geo redundant storage, zone and geo zone. Local, obviously that means your storage will be stored in a local place. If anything happens to that place, your storage is gone. Then we have zone. Let's say that same place, let's say in a country we have two places that there is data facility. Let's say in South Africa now, Azure is in South Africa, and let's say they have two places in South Africa, and you store your work, your data in first place in South Africa and second place in South Africa, and anything happens to that South Africa data center, let's say there is a volcano, your data is gone. Now geo means your data, let's say your data is saved in South Africa and your data is saved in another country, let's say US. So if anything happens to the country, let's say anything happens to South Africa, your data is still being backup, is still being saved in US. That is geo redundant. Then geo zone redundant, that means your work is virtually everywhere, and whatever happens, your work will not be disturbed. However, this is like a subscription. Subscription means it's pay as you go. So remember to always cut costs as well. Let's just go for geo redundant for this training in this video. Then we click on next. Allow enabling anonymous access on individual container. I would have toggled this on, but for the sake of learning, I will toggle it off. You will know why I'm toggling it off. Read it again. Allow enabling anonymous access on individual containers. So there is nothing much to change here. Now there is something I would like to call your attention to. This access tier. We have auth and we have code. Auth means data you frequently you frequently check, data you frequently need. Say you check it every day. And code means data you check once a while, probably once in few months, in years. However, this account we want it auth. We want it auth. So let's click on next. Network access. Enable public access from all network. Yes. Then we click on next. Data protection. Enable soft delete for blobs. This means when we create our container. When we put things in our container, we put files, videos, pictures, data, anything we put there and we want to delete, we are telling Azure that when we delete something, we don't want it to be permanently delete. You know, on your phone when you delete, it moves to like a bin, trash bin, except to go and delete from the trash bin. And even in Gmail, so when you delete oftentimes from your phone, it's after 30 days that it will be permanently delete. The same thing on Gmail. If you delete something on Gmail, it will not delete immediately, it will be in trash for like 30 days. After 30 days, then it will be permanently deleted. Now, same thing here, but this time around it's 7 days. That's we can actually change this, but we just leave it like that. It's still okay by us. Enable versioning for blobs. We are going to explain this later. Let's just leave it like this. Enable blob change field. We are leaving all this as it is. Click on next. Now, encryption, you don't want to encrypt anything. Let's just leave it like this. Blobs and files only, leave everything as default. Then we click on next. Now, tags, name, value, resources, all these are not so important. If you look at all these things very well, if anywhere you need to put, you need to type, if you see it asterisk means star. If you see star, you know, that means it's important, it's needed, it's a must for you to fill that place. If it's not asterisk, there is no star there, just leave it. Let's make compare. You see, this is just written. Let's go to basic. You realize that these ones, they have stars, that means they are required, it's a must for you to fill them. So however, this tag, it's not important, so let's just keep going. Next. We want to review and create. So check everything, making sure it's what you want. Then we click on create. Then it's loading here, initializing deployment. We are deploying our story. Let's go to resource. All right, here we are. Now, the first thing we want to do here, you know, we've created a storage account. Now, we need to create a container that will accommodate whatever we want to put. So let's go to containers. This is the default one, so let's create new container. Let's name it king. So we say king container. Okay, no space in between. This name will only contain lowercase numbers. There's no numbers and hyphens. I must begin with a letter or a number. Each hyphen must be preserved by one. This name must also be 23 and 63 characters long. Yeah, we are now. Now, remember what I said the other time, that anonymous access level. Anonymous access level. That time, that thing I said we are not going to check. You remember? So let's create. Okay, let's just say king1. King1. Click on create. Creating successfully created storage container, and we have king1 here. Let's create another one. We are going to name this one king2. Okay, and we are still gonna leave this as private. Then click on create. It's loading, creating storage, successfully created storage container. Let's create another one again. We are going to name it king3. Then this advanced, select from existing account scope. Let's see, not available. Use this encryption scope for all blobs in the container. No. Enable version level immortality support. Let's just create. Let's leave this as default. Don't want to touch that. Creating successfully created storage container. Now we have 4. Now look at all this. This is private, 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 private. Okay. You know what? Let's delete this 2 and 3. To delete is very simple. Just come here, click here. Containers which are in a list state are locked for deletion and will be skipped. This action will move to the period of 7 days. You know, that's 7 days we're talking about that time. So now click on delete, confirm, delete. Deleting container. Deleted. Now this is the one we created. Now what we want to do is to change this from private to public, so that anybody, when we put something there, anybody can access it. How can we do that? Now let's scroll down to configuration. Down. Okay, now we are here. Now see, allow blobs anonymous access. It's disabled. So let's enable it. Then we click on save. Updating storage account. If you look at this is enabled. Allow recommended upper limit for share access signature SAS expiry level. No, disable that. Default Microsoft Entra authentication in Azure. For now, disable that. All this, just leave it to default. Yes, we still want it to be hot. Now let's go back to our container. Now we come here, we click on these 3 dots. Now we want to change access level. Change access level to the access level is set to private. Oh, let's refresh this. This it has not been updated. Let's refresh. So now we've refreshed. Let's come here again. Change access level. Oh, this is still the same thing. You know what? Let's do add refresh. That means this has not that's not, because you need to give it some minutes. So let's refresh. Refreshing. Okay, 3 dots, change access level. You see, now private, we don't want it to be private. Blob anonymous read access for blobs only. Container anonymous read access for container and blobs. Container anonymous. All container and blob data can be read by anonymous request. So, okay. Changing access levels for containers. It's loading. Successful. Now it has changed from private to container now. Okay. So now let's click on this and let's upload something. Okay. Let's upload something. Upload. I want to upload something. Just click on browse files. So I selected 4 pictures. I click on browse for files and then I selected 4 pictures. Click on advanced. We are not overriding anything, so we click on advanced. Blob type. Let's check. Blob, page blob. Let's just leave it at default. Blob size. Access I want to leave it odd. Upload to folder. Let's give it a folder. Let's say cooler. Then we uploading on blobs. Uploading. Boom! Now we have our file and its name cooler. Let's click on it. It's loading. Come on, cooler. Cool it for us. Now, boom, we have our pictures. Now, just click on one of the pictures. It's loading. Now, anybody that wants to see our picture, just here's the URL. I copy this. Then open new slide. Control V. Enter. Now it's loading. Boom! Our picture is ready here for us. Now, let's open another picture. It's loading. Copy this. New slide. Control V. Let's see. Boom! Our picture is here. Now, we can see all this because of the access that has been granted. Now, what we want to do now is to change the access level. We don't want these links. We don't want any anonymous person, because any anonymous person that have access to this link can see these pictures. So we don't want anybody that we don't give access to, any anonymous person to have access to these pictures anymore, even if they check the link. So what we are going to do is to come to change access level. Okay, we click on here and then we put it on private. Then we click on OK. Changing access level for containers. It's loading. Now it's successful. So what we are going to do now is to refresh this. Boom! This is gibberish. This XML file does not appear to have any style information associated with the document tree. The document tree is shown below. You see, gibberish. Now, let's refresh. Boom, same thing. If we want people to see this thing again, all we want to do is just to change access level to okay. It's loading. Successful. Now let's refresh this again. See, the picture will appear again now. The picture is there. Let's refresh this to boom. The picture is there. You get it? So well, That is it. Thank you.